guys. Welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse and DPayne.
I don't even know how to pronounce this. Wait, where did we leave off with the hellos in the other languages? Because we might have done something the other week. We'll do this one. Salut, which is hello in Romanian.
Nice. This week we are talking about our voted on topic of cereals. But because cereals won, does that mean our other topic is finally in the contender pool for losers?
Yes. We have two in the loser pit. So
does that mean we don't roll this week and those two compete?
Correct. Well, at the end. I'm glad you said roll. I had to find my D20.
Oh, I don't have my phone with me. Oh, okay. Let's Google a dice roller.
But yeah, it's really interesting, this loser pit. It is definitely the battle of the bands.
It took me a second. Isn't it
it's Beatles songs and Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah, I didn't even connect it.
I was like, I'm glad, like, there's one that I really wish we talked about, and I'm not going to say it out loud because I will say which one I really wanted to have win after the battle of the bands.
Okay. Well, now we have a topic for the next quiz. Not quiz, poll. Wow. Poll. Words.
Which hopefully we'll remember what day it's actually up and we can promote it a little bit better.
I know. We thought we had one more day and we were like, oh, the votes are in.
We're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, so if you guys would like to participate and help us vote on our next topic, then make sure to follow us on twitter.com/pointlessdisco. We put up polls when we don't have guests so that you guys can, all vote together and as a community, and then we talk about said topics.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you go there, you might see a little, like, one of them word thingies with the audio. Like, there's one on there where it's about scop. Wow, I combined two words because I was talking and going, which is skip it and hops.
Scops.
Yeah,
and then I also believe, I think YouTube might only be behind one episode now, if it is. I'll have to double check that. But then, yes, then you guys will also get updates if you prefer to listen to podcasts through YouTube or prefer that medium. You can also catch up on there.
We are so progressive. Like, I find it funny because on this video, you have the blue outline and I have the pink. Take that, gender norms.
Oh, I was going to say, when it comes to games, don't I usually pick the blue skin and you pick the pink skin?
True. I picked the pink skin because it's so bright I can see it.
I definitely stand out from the background. No questions about it.
Yep. The other funny thing is the only reason I choose the pink text on mine. So I choose blue because I remember very early on, Hop told me that one of her favorite colors is blue.
It's also kind of what I've said a lot of my branding out, too, if you've noticed my starting soon and BRB screens.
Yeah, and so I was like, you know what? She likes blue. I'm going to choose blue. There we go. Woohoo. And then there's me. I'm like, well, what color am I going to choose? I don't know. And then I just bring it up, and I'm like looking, and I was like, pink is just over here in the corner. I'll just click this. I don't have to really do much. And so it's just, that is why, like, all my colors, like, if anyone looks at the YouTube videos, on the bottom of it, or at the end of the videos when I just, like, here's my YouTube channel or my Twitch channel, it's like, yep, here is it's just pink for the outline because it's like, there it is, click pink, don't have to worry about it, just move
easy on. Gotcha. Do we have any other announcements?
Besides the one that we're planning right now for next month, no.
Okay.
And anyone who isn't involved with that, you'll just have to live in mystery for, I don't know, at least like 2 more weeks when we announce it.
Yeah. Or if you could follow us on other means, you might get announced a little bit earlier, depending on the timing of things.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of the links in the descriptions.
Yes, all the links. And yeah, by the way, everyone, just we're gonna just say this up front, and we'll say it at the end as well. If you enjoy this podcast, which I know there's a handful of you guys that come to our streams and let us know that you enjoy it, and that we'll bring up certain things that happen. Yeah, if you don't mind, just go drop a review. It's a as people as the Pointless Discourse does not have any other way to support it, because we're like, yo, just like it. If you want to support it, give it one of those review things, because that just does some weird iTunes algorithm thing and lets us know.
Mm-hmm. And
Well,
then,
lets other people know.
yeah, lets other people know you enjoy it. Or, always sharing with a friend is always nice. Sharing is caring.
It could be fun, unless you are sharing gum.
Ew. I've never once considered. Well,
Not
ABC
like
gum.
chewed gum, not that. There was a juicy fruit commercial back in the day when it's just like, it was like a girl and a whale, like a guy in a whale costume, and it was like one of those like kids shows thing, and they're just like, hey kids, and it's just like sharing is caring, it could be fun, and then the girl like pulls out like juicy fruit gum, or I think it was juicy fruit, and then just like, oh, and she bites, like she starts chewing it, and the whale costume just like does the whole like 180, like whoa, and just like holds out a flipper, like give me a piece, and she's like, oh no, and they like go back out on stage, and she's like doing the acting thing, and the whale's just like, I ain't having any of this, and just bull rush tackles her into like the set, and they're just fighting on stage, except it's just like an awkward fish felt costume fighting.
I don't think I remember that commercial, but it is interesting that when you said sharing gum, I immediately went to ABC gum, and then afterwards I thought, wait, no, he probably means sharing gum out of a pack, and then I was like, oh.
To be fair, it wouldn't be fair. It's not that far of a jump for that logic to be attributed to me. I was also told by a friend today. Not today, sorry. Not this week, the week before, where he's like, you know what? If anyone, if there was anybody that was a streamer, and I had people come in and say, dude, this person just called me an idiot live on stream, and it's like, it must be DPayne. And then that same person could come and he's like, dude, this streamer is like really weird. They're like making sure I'm okay and everything. And it's like, it must be DPayne. He's like, you're an anomaly. How do you do this? You're like the only person now that can get away with calling his viewers idiots and stupid, but then at the same time letting them know that you care for them. I'm like, I don't know. It's me. That's my brand. I'll call you an idiot. Now get to work.
But yeah. And then we always appreciate you guys. I know we used to also check listeners in all the different countries, but statistics were not easy for us to look at anymore on Anchor. So if you're from outside of the US, welcome. And that's why DPayne is just circulating through all the languages, and maybe we'll get to your country.
Eventually. Chances are I might have already hit it. So go back and go through the backlog.
Go through the backlog.
And surprise us. Like, actually, here, I'm going to refresh this. Did we get even more surprises? Nope. But yes, but thank you everyone who is listening and sharing and telling other people's and dogs and cats and the occasional orangutan to listen.
Yeah, my bunny's not allowed to listen to these episodes.
It's because your bunny is clout chasing, trying to get on there by hitting the wall and just like, look at me, I'm eating.
Notice me, Mom. Yeah,
when can I get on?
Last night, when I was playing with friends, he just sat and fell asleep right next to me and then started snoring. It's like, you were so cute and so distracting, but please, I'm gonna die to this bot in League of Legends. Yeah,
that cracked me up because like when I finished my stream, I went and raided someone and they were playing ARAM and they're like, DPayne, we never get to play games. Like, we should find out time to play. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I looked at the clock and I was like, I can join for a game or two now if you have an opening and they're like, oh yes. And I'm like, okay. And then I opened it up and then it's just like hop in game. I'm like, I can take a guess because it wasn't TFT when I was playing TFT earlier.
Surprises. But yeah. So yeah, this week is about cereals. So are you ready to roll the dice to see who talks first?
I am ready to be hungry.
I ate a salad, but that was hours ago at this point.
You were sharing a meal with your children?
Unfortunately, there was dressing on this, so I couldn't exactly share with the buns.
Real quick, in case anyone was wondering, I'm talking about her rabbits. Hop does not have a whole bunch of children that she. Well, actually, the way that's about to come out of my mouth is like Hop doesn't share food with kids because they're gross. But it's like, man, but if you do have kids, yes, share food with them, because then the government gets involved.
Oh, sharing food is one thing versus feeding them? That's a little.
What is feeding but just a form of sharing?
My favorite TikToks that I've seen when it comes to sharing foods with kids is when moms clearly try to say things are spicy so they just won't eat it. I think one I was watching, it was I want to say it was a Korean family, because she goes through and she's eating like chocolate and she's drinking like something tasty and she keeps like, oh no, too spicy. And then at the end she's like, kimchi's good, it's spicy, you'll like it.
It'll be a fun episode going through our favorite TikTok memes.
I guess, yeah, we would have to just figure out how to get the audio right so that they can also enjoy it with us.
Or we can. That should be the live show. Whenever we do our random live show, that can be what it is. So that way, all we have to do is just play it. But it won't show up in the recording. I don't know. There's ways. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna write it in the talking points. Like, it is option 37 here. Actually, I just saw something. Okay. I'm gonna hide. No, okay. I'm gonna remember because that's something. You know what? I should probably mention to you after and actually remember.
Welcome to the brain of DPayne.
Hop probably understood 75% of what just happened.
So basically what happened, guys, is DPayne reminded himself of an idea and doesn't want to forget, but wants to save it so we can actually discuss it to see if it's an idea that will stick. There is your translation for you guys. I feel like I have to do this sometimes when we stream too. Like in TFT, you start a sentence and you stop and your chat's like, what's happening? And I go, oh, DPayne's just thinking really hard, but I think what he meant to say is, you're an idiot. No, I don't think I've actually said that.
No, you never said that. I have.
But I do step in when you get grumbly and people are like, what's happening? I'm like, oh, this is us when our cogwheels start turning in our head.
Mm-hmm. As it's been titled, Gremlin Chat.
Gremlin. Yeah. But, so, have you jotted down your ideas? You ready to go?
Oh, for cereal? Yeah.
Okay.
This was like the earliest I've been done in a while. And it was one of those things because like I remember telling you it was like cereal one, but then there was like one other like kind of important thing, or at the moment was important or funny. I don't remember what it was, but you commented on that. And then all I was thinking about was Thursday. I was like, I'm 90% sure she read everything I wrote, but I don't know because there wasn't like confirmation in like, yes, cereal. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it was more of like me reading too much into it. So I think like it was like the next day or when I got home. That's why I wrote. Wait, where was it? Yeah, that's why I wrote. I just realized that's why I wrote. We're gonna be hungry 2 weeks in a row now talking about food, and then I was like, that was like, this is me asking without. Hey, did you read everything I wrote?
We are close enough now that you could just say, are you ignoring me? Did you read this?
Yes, but I figured this was also way more fun than that.
Yeah, but
I didn't eat anything, so I'm definitely going to be hungry.
I have chocolate-covered almonds next to me that I might have started snacking on already. So I think I win tonight's hunger matches. Tonight's?
Yeah, But I also realized I have started a very bad habit of just not eating anything, and then until we finish recording the podcast, because after recording the podcast, it's like it's DoorDash time.
Oh, we should probably start these a little earlier then, so you don't
Nah, it's all
starve.
good. Nah, it's well. I also wake up late.
Okay.
Like the next thing I have to do is actually start looking at some of these lists of animes you gave me to. Oh, I found out why God of High School felt so rushed.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at it, and I was looking at some of the screenshots for it because I'm like, you know what? I want to watch this. It's only like 12, 13 episodes, and I really like the manga. Or manhwa, whatever it's called, the comic. And the comic is, and then when I saw like where the last episode ended, I was like, that's like really far into the story. And then it was like common things where it's just like, yeah, they, for whatever reason, they went at like a breakneck speed of putting out episodes for the anime.
Mm-hmm.
So like that is from what I understand, it's episode 1 to 100 all jammed into 12 episodes.
Yeah, I don't think I watched all 12. I might have stopped around episode 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I finished when the tournament arc ended, and I was like, wait, what's gonna happen now that the tournament's over? Like, I was like...
Yes. Like, the comic is just, it just takes its time way... It's a lot slower from what I'm hearing. It's like, I think it's like 400 issues, but it's not like... There's a few points where I'm just like, okay, what's going on? Like, where are they going to go from here? But it's just like remembering where it started, because you can tell it is now in its ending stages.
Okay.
And it's like, it is now like making like the memories of stuff like from the beginning. So there's like 2 characters in there that are like, do they like each other? Do they not? And before anyone's like, oh, is DPayne shipping? No, I just learned what the heck a waifu was like last week. But yeah, it was just like, it's like one of those things where, I don't know, when I read and watch stuff, I was like, yeah, they're probably written to like fall in love at some point. Cool. And I'll just keep on moving forward. And there's like the 2 characters now, like at the end, it's just like, they finally, like, yes, they're like, okay, yeah, there it is. It took them 400 episodes to get here, and one of them, I'm pretty sure, was dead for like a big old section of the story.
Goodness.
And man, they're like big old freaks of natures now. Like, one has a robot arm and like can't see out of half of their eyes, and they only have 2 eyes, so can't see out of one of their eyes, and like the other one, actually the other person also can't see out of one of their eyes and is like missing an arm. It's just like, wow, cool. But it's just like, they together now, cool
and good.
Yes. And then it's just like, yeah, remember that we finished that story arc, let's go back to the cool main character that is just like, he's over there fighting dragons while there's this little love like story being closed. And it's just like, through the power of main characterness, he's like, yep, something good just happened, don't know what. He's like, well, how do you know that? And he's just like, I know love. That's not what he says, but it's just like, yeah, that's what happened. He's like, well, through the power of these 2 characters now, like finally confirming the feelings they had for each other, I am now will finish this thing that I needed time to show that I grew as a character and in power. So, but anywho.
So there's your TLDR of
But anywho. Yeah. God of High School as a manga is really good. I can't say the same for the anime, but the animation from what I saw is very pretty.
Yeah, I enjoyed the fight scenes and everything.
They have
it
very rosy red noses.
All
They all look like they have colds.
Permacold. But yeah, so I rolled my dice.
Oh.
For anyone who is kind of newer and sat through our tangent, thank you. One, that was not related to cereal, but now
It could be.
You could eat cereal and watch God of High School. And so we rolled dice because we were big fans of like tabletop RPGs like D&D and Pathfinder. So we decided we'd roll 20-sided dice to see who gets to talk first and which order we'll talk about the items. So
Yes.
What did you roll?
I rolled 7.
I rolled a 13.
Oh.
So I'll get to go first, and because DPayne's number was odd, we'll be talking about our least favorites first.
Oh. Also, we've been talking for a while. I do have a guess for what is at least in one of your top ones.
Okay. Is it because I've talked about it on stream before?
I don't remember if you mentioned the cereal, but it's more of a certain item that I know that you said that you really enjoy, and I was like, there's a whole cereal that is based around this. It is literally in the name, but I don't know. I will, if it is not your number 2, I will say my guess. When I get to your number 1.
Okay, that's fair. I do have runner-ups, not for my least favorites, but like kind of my favorites.
I have a runner-up as well.
Okay, so I don't have any runner-ups for least favorites.
Me neither.
So I'm gonna kick off and say that I do not understand Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, yeah, they're just like colored Rice Krispies.
But the thing is, like, Rice Krispies at least have fun noises for me. And there's the chocolate version of this. And the chocolate version, I don't mind because it turns the milk into chocolate milk, which I do like. But Fruity Pebbles, for me, it feels like as soon as they get wet, then they're already soggy.
Yeah, it doesn't turn the milk into fruit like the chocolate Fruity Pebbles turns the milk into chocolate.
Yeah. So, like, I don't have a good argument. I just remember anytime I got them, I was so convinced they'd be good because, is it the Flintstones that were a big advertisement for it?
Yeah, they still are.
They still are? Yeah, like, I remember loving the Flintstones.
Who watches the Flintstones?
Me?
Now.
Oh, now?
Now.
Whoever has Boomer... Is it Boomerang?
Boomer. That's just the whole name.
No, isn't... What's the channel?
Yes, Boomerang.
Okay.
Wow, that's on brand. Boomerang for the boomers. Well, we just lost all our 60-plus listeners.
It was nice while we had you. But yeah, so I remember always getting excited because the commercials looked fun and everything, and it was brightly colored. And you know, when you're a kid, if things are bright colors, oh, I'm so sorry, sudden sneeze.
The Flintstones know you're talking about.
Or the Flintstones are talking about me.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
But yeah, it would, as soon as it got wet, it was soggy, and I was like, it doesn't taste good. It's not crunchy. It's not sweet enough to make up for itself, and it just not it for me.
Well, like, what do you expect? That is from Stoneman ages, and
before cereal technology was really in place.
It's just a miracle that is able to last from Neanderthal times to now. There's just a limited time.
Is there a time machine that transports them, and that's why they're so small? You have to compress them?
It's actually just a big rock that they just shaved. That's why they're so thin. They're little colored rock shavings.
What color is this rock? Is there different sections of the rock that are different?
There's a green one, a blue one. I actually don't know if there's blue Fruity Pebbles, but it's just, that's what it does. But it's under secrets.
How did you do? Wait, is DPayne gonna have to disappear from the podcast?
I hope not. I'm half of the people that helped start the podcast.
Have you discovered a secret? Will you?
We'll find out.
Will the cereal business come for you?
I will send you the one episode in case DPayne misses, so that way people will know this is the final episode. This is not the final episode. Don't unless one of us. I don't know why. Never mind. We're talking about food. I don't want to put that imagery that just popped in my head into their heads while we talk about food.
I was just imagining like cereal authorities kicking down your door. It's like, he knows too much.
Yeah, it's the FBI, the Fruity Pebble burrow of idiots.
It was foolproof. No one would guess this.
You thought we were helping the government. It was for cereal this whole time. And then play the JoJo theme. Dun, dun, dun. Fruity Pebbles.
But no, I think I've had Fruity Pebbles maybe twice in my life, and yeah, I don't have a good argument other than soggy, sad, milk doesn't change flavor. Why?
I never had Fruity Pebbles. I think I had Fruity Pebbles maybe like once or twice. But I remember my mom would never buy it because she was like, it's expensive. I'm like, okay.
I mean, it's expensive for what you get. It's not a
Yes.
meal.
But it's just like, I didn't have any concept of why.
Mm.
Like, it was just like, my mom said it was expensive. And then I look at cereals now and I'm like, I'm not gonna, I don't know. It just depends. There is a cereal which may or may not be on my list. It is on my list that I will be like, if I'm going to buy a cereal, it is going to be this one.
Oh, I hope it's your favorite one.
Oh, it is.
All right. So what's your second least favorite cereal?
All right. So I mentioned this to you, and so I'm going to mention it to the podcast because I like to just, I don't know, as I'm told by many different people, DPayne think different. And so one of the things, as people know, I do not like chocolate. So I was like, this is super obvious that, and I could just finish my bad list and be like, it has chocolate. It gross. But I didn't want to do that. So I was like, let's find something else besides the reason of it being chocolate. And my first ones is Special K and Life. Due to the reason is that I will never buy these cereals because they look so boring. And I don't think there's anything in there. Let me guess. One of these is on your list.
It's not on my list, but I have one Special K that I like to buy from time to time.
Now, yeah, I'm just thinking of
Base,
basic Special K. That sounds like an insult to someone. You're a basic Special K.
I
K for
Karen. the flavor I do like has dried strawberries in it.
That was the only one I was thinking of that does not fit in this list because I was like, I would be down for the strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
How did Strawberry get his name? Like, because I think of straws, I think of the things that you slurp milk out of, but you cannot slurp milk out of a strawberry.
That's a good question. There's, it's okay. It's like when I found out on stream that Boston cream pie isn't actually really pie.
It's a Boston.
It's a cake. Essentially, and they basically said the name came from the fact that you used to make cakes and pies in the same exact tin, so that the name just stuck and was synonymous for Boston cream pie.
It is. I just Googled it.
It's two cakes with a filling and chocolate frosting.
It's a cake sandwich.
But called pie.
Boston's stupid. Except for when they host PAX East. Then they're okay.
But yeah, so yeah.
I still find it funny that we went to PAX East and didn't know who we were. But we probably passed each other.
Around the mixer booth.
Around just in general, PAX East.
There's so many people though that unless I coordinated with people, I never saw them. There was one person I kept saying like, "Hey, we should meet up in person," and he was just like, "Sorry, you just missed me." Like, we never intersected paths, even though we were messaging each other.
Yeah, we should have a Pointless Discourse meetup in PAX East if we go.
Are they still planning on a June one? I forget. I thought I saw an updated calendar.
I'm not 100% sure. That's a different conversation. But hey, guys, if it does happen, like, I don't know, we'll let you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so I can see where you say basic. The other thing that bothers me about those cereals is they advertise that they're the healthy cereal. But I mean, if you wanted a healthy breakfast, wouldn't you eat fruit? Oatmeal?
I tried to get into the habit of eating oatmeal, and I stopped because, on one hand, it was okay, but I'm like, I want something slightly sweeter for my morning.
You know you can sweeten oatmeal, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like, you know what oatmeal literally is? It's just soggy, warm cereal.
In a way, but I find it more filling. Oh yes,
yeah, it is. But I'm like, I'm also eating it while I'm driving to work.
Well,
So
that
it's
sounds
just,
dangerous.
well, it's the only time I don't like waking up. Like if I could wake up at a normal time to eat a meal before going to work, I would make eggs because I love eggs.
But I feel like you could eat other things. Like you could make a little the night before, make a breakfast burrito, and then microwave it in the morning, and then that's handheld, and that could have eggs in it.
Yes. But that requires more work. That means I have to end streams earlier.
The pause where you're like, she's not wrong.
Yep. But no, it's also one of those things where like I would also eat I would go get like the pre-made breakfast sandwiches and eat that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to get away from some of that because, well, one, they are not necessarily the best for you, and they're also expensive. But I think probably I think the pre-packaged oatmeals, like I can get like the variety pack. Oh man, we're so old. You can get the variety pack for like $2, and that will last like 2 weeks, and all you have to do is add a little bit of water.
I choose to add milk.
Yeah, I just add water because uh I don't really put milk in anything else. So last time I was like, I don't want to spend this money on milk and have it go bad. And I know there's different size milks, but that means I have to go to a different grocery store.
That is fair, but okay.
But yes, anyway, the packaging on Special K and Life base Special K just does not, one, it just doesn't build any desire for me to actually go and be like, I think I'm gonna get this. Like Life what has like some kid on there like, yeah. And then Special K is just a rooster? Or is that
no.
Kellogg's?
Kellogg's is the rooster.
They fall under this thing as well. Kellogg's is just unfrosted flakes.
Just flakes.
Yeah. Just, oh man, that sounds really gross to promote. What is it? Just flakes.
Just flakes.
But yeah, that's like really the only reason why I'm just like, okay, if I was going to, like, I can't eat chocolate because it messes with my stomach, but I'd much rather go buy the very exciting Reese Puff cereal over there because it's way more colorful and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's also when I could eat chocolate, it was very good. But that was also an expensive cereal for what you get.
The branding adding to the expense. But all right, you cool.
But that's all I have to say. It was not a very exciting thing, which also I realize people can say what is going to be my top list. Like those aren't exciting things. Like you shut up, I like them.
I like what I like. All right.
Is it? Don't you insult my child? It's fine.
All right. So my number one least favorite cereal, I completely forgot about this until I looked up a list of cereals to make sure I didn't miss anything. Honey Smacks.
Wait a second. Yeah, that's on mine.
As your favorite or least favorite?
Least favorite.
Okay, yeah, it's such a weird texture. What is it?
Okay, I have two others that get put in here, under here.
Okay.
So wait, which one did you say?
Honey Smacks.
Honey Smacks. There's Golden Crisps, which is the same thing pretty much.
I don't know what that one is. Hold on.
They look pretty much the same. It looks like one of those weird shells but it just has like a little bit of coating on it. I also put Corn Pops into this.
Oh, Corn Pops also made it there on the list. But I've had Corn Pops before, and I don't absolutely hate Corn Pops. I just have to be in the mood, because Corn Pops to me are like the sweet version of Kix, and I do like Kix.
Mm-hmm. Kix are great.
Yeah.
The cereal, not
kicking.
Not the kinetic movement with your foot.
Oh my goodness! Looking at this picture of Golden Crisp, what is this? What is this shape?
Is that the bear or the frog?
Bear? The frog is Honey Smacks.
Hold on, I gotta bring these up because I remember just looking at this on my phone. All right, that's one, and
I have a picture where they're both next to each other.
They're similar. They're like little butts.
Yeah, and I remember like they're not fun to chew on.
Yes. But here's the reason why these were, and the only reason why Corn Pops is on this in this same list, because if you look at Corn Pops, they do not look like this. And for people who do not know what Honey Smacks or Golden Crisp look like, just imagine two brown um, Rice Krispies that are stuck together, but they are brown and have sweetener on it. And before touch milk, they are like a crunch, if I'm remembering
It's
correctly.
yeah, like a Rice Krispie is like a puffy crisp. Like you can bite in it and it like a little bit of a pop, but it's very soft. These are like you have to fight them.
Yes, but the reason why all three, and for people who don't know what a corn pop looks like, it's literally just a yellow blob.
A yellow ball.
Yeah, like that's like I don't know, a quarter of an inch round. The reason why all these three are on my top of the list as terrible is because it seems like as soon as you put them in there, you have like a 30-second window before they're soggy and uneatable. Like there are some cereals that I think they absorb the milk, but it does not ruin the experience eating them. However, these I just remember like I remember being on vacation with the family, and we would have one of these, and it would be poured like we would be watching TV because it was like for the longest time the only time we had cable was when we went to the beach, down to the beach for vacation, or down to the shore, whatever we said. And I would look up at what was on TV and then look down, and I was like, ew. But however, it was instilled that you better eat this because mom bought it.
You have no options.
Yes. So now I don't know if because I know there's like the cereal bars with this, which like
yeah, they have like that dairy thing, like they say
Yes.
it's milk equivalent on the bottom,
and it's very sweet.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like the fact that that might taste a little bit better because it does not touch the liquid version of milk. So sog factor does not come in.
I don't know. I don't think you can convince me that these are good. I guess, yeah, if any listeners like these cereals, please make your case and argument at twitter.com/pointlessdisco and tell us why we're wrong, because I don't understand
it. I will not buy them. Like the Honey Smacks logo looks like the WB frog that just like, but it's cousin.
Yeah, he's got like a cap and a t-shirt, and he's like, he thinks he's different, but the WB frog is much more famous and fancier too, right?
Yeah, he has like a top hat. And the Golden Crisp one just like it looks like this bear has done some illegal substances. And also
he's gonna hit himself in the eye with that cereal.
That's exactly what I was going to.
He just flicked it into his eye.
He's like, oh yeah, well, I like this. No.
His mouth is about like 3 inches lower than the graphic for the
Okay, now here's
box.
Another question. Like besides the fact there's a Gamefly commercial on the Golden
I
Crisp,
love it.
What is this? Okay, the frog one. I thought it said Pig'em.
Oh
but
no,
it's Dig'em.
Yeah, like yeah.
And then Golden Crisp is SB.
Also, the positioning of that SB is like at his neck. So if he didn't have the cereal in front of him, he would just have a blue shirt from below what his like for like 90% of the shirt.
Yeah. Does the words go down and it says Super Bowl?
Is he into sports?
I don't know. It looks like he got
Super
hit
Bear?
a few times. I was thinking Sugar Bear.
Sugar Bear. Now I feel like I have to.
Yeah, let's see who can find it first.
Sugar Bear is, in fact, it.
Oh. I think I only remember that because I think I saw a commercial where they talked about like he was called Sugar Bear.
Here you go. Here is the mascot for Sugar Bear. I hope it scars you as much as it scars me.
So when is the 5 Nights at Freddy's version of this coming out? This also okay. That reminded me of the TikTok that I have been enjoying. Welcome TikTok break for a second, um, where it's band members or people, musicians acting like
Oh,
animatronics.
I've seen that. Yeah, it's like Five Nights at Freddy music.
Is it Five Nights at Freddy's
I
music?
thought I thought one version I saw did, but I sent you
I don't
another
know.
sugar bear, and he looks very upset, and I don't know what's happening in the scene.
Yeah, well, this is definitely before the other image where he's throwing his cereal into his
Because he's
eyes.
so buff.
Yeah, he's just like, "You touching my cereal?" And this like pissed off lobster crab thing's just like, "I'm gonna destroy it." And obviously, this fight did not go well.
Yeah, because he's behind the crab. He's not even like fighting the crab, unless they're together. No, that is his cereal that he's holding because you can kind of see the bear on it.
Well, it's also weird because like his hand definitely looks like it's behind the elbow of crab thing,
Oh, in the
but
eight.
his foot is in front
Oh,
of
you're
the
right.
foot.
It says in the 80s they tried to turn Sugar Bear into a superhero named Sugar Bear. Okay.
Yeah, I think we're
Yeah,
good.
thanks for the description, guys.
Ooh, fluffy pancakes on my Twitter feed. Sorry. I like
Important.
the I like the fluffy breads. These don't look real.
I have made
Oh,
the
they're
fluff.
hats. They're not real.
I've
Sorry.
made fluffy pancakes before.
Yeah. Have you seen the people that or the videos where they take a rice cooker and then make like the pancakes in the rice cooker?
Mm-hmm. Are you tempted?
I'm hungry.
Oh,
I'm,
here. Maybe this is a use
I'm
for Golden Crisp that we'll never use it for. I found a picture
yeah,
of a
no, I'm good.
cookie with Golden Crisp on it. And they say it's a paw print cookie. What?
It looks like these cookies are rejecting the cereal.
A friend gave me this recipe. I am sure it must be a recipe from Post Golden Crisp Cereal Company. I have made these many times. Everyone rates them highly. All love the look of a bear paw for a cookie. It is a, yeah. It is a rather cute cookie. Thanks, ma'am.
This just shows me that the person who made this recipe has never seen a bear paw.
Yeah, basically, so anyone listening to the audio, it is literally just a plain cookie, from what I can tell, like a sugar cookie. And they took chocolate and glued on Golden Crisps, three of them, and then they said it's a paw.
Yep. And it's funny because just the way this is taken, it looks like the cookie is like rejecting the cereal. Also, a good use for this cereal, as I think the article that you're reading says, there's only three. Like normally you would want like that's a big box. There's a lot of them in there. Do they still make these?
The cereal, probably.
I'm also surprised Sour Patch Kids cereal wasn't put on yours.
I was going with, consistent
Ones that
cereals.
you would try to eat
Yeah,
or
I've
would potentially.
ones that people would have grown up with. Okay, I'll put it that way.
Sour milk.
Sour milk. All right, but yeah, that's all I have to say. And I guess we tag teamed that one, so we can move on to our favorites.
Yeah. But now here's a word from our sponsor. Just joking, we don't have sponsors.
But if sponsors want to call us up, wait, what?
Yeah. Special K.
Strawberry only, please. But all right,
This is the fun thing I realized. I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is just one thing, and then we will go on. I realized the way our podcast works, man, every week we eliminate two potential sponsors every week for just saying we don't like them and here's the reason why. Every time.
We're such bullies.
I like it.
So I have a couple runner-ups. So I'll say one of my runner-ups.
I only have one runner-up for our good.
Okay. I'll just say both mine really quickly then. I remember one of my favorite cereals for a long time, but I don't think my favorite was Frosted Flakes.
Yes, it's not on my list, but I used to really like Frosted Flakes for a while until the most recent time that I had them. Because if people don't realize, hey, I don't eat a lot of sugar in my diet, and yeah, I got ulcers from the sugar.
Oh no.
So I still like it. I just don't eat it as much.
That is fair. You need to watch out for yourself. And then I'll just say my other one really quickly. If you've been in my stream, you've heard me talk about this a lot. I don't know if this is what you think your guess is, but I am not that old, although the internet likes to make me feel very old. But I'm an old lady at heart in that I enjoy Raisin Bran.
Yep, I was like, this has to be somewhere on your list.
I feel like even though it's not my top tier favorite cereal, it would be a shame if I didn't mention it because I've talked about it numerous times about how raisins are not actually your enemy and don't make them feel bad.
You know what's really funny? I was reading the article in Cereal for this, and Raisin Bran is actually one of the most unhealthiest cereals out there.
Oh yeah, because like they cover the raisins in sugar as well, and then I think the flakes are also frosted, so it's like
it wasn't the fact that they said the cereal was really unhealthy. I was just like, I was sitting there, I was like, I could really go over some Raisin Bran right now. So
okay, and who's your runner-up?
My runner-up, which this is like one of my go-to eating cereal dry, is Frosted Mini Wheats.
Ooh, those are good too.
I recently had one where it was funny because I remember this was before we were recording a podcast, and I was like, okay, well, I need to do grocery shopping, and I don't know what it was, but it was like, I don't know if it was the fact that like I didn't eat anything that day and the fact that I was expending more energy than normal by like moving around and running around and stuff, that I was like, my stomach was just like, and like energy levels was just like dying in the for that day. And I was like, I need to buy something to eat on the way home, otherwise I'm just not gonna make it. And like, I don't know if it was like blood sugar or whatever it was that's really low. Like, I don't have a history in this, but I looked over and saw blueberry frosted flakes, and I was like, yep, you win.
That'll do.
And like, I finished shopping, and like, as soon as I sat in the car, just like eat like a handful of them, and I was like, these are the best things I've ever eaten in my life.
When the body requires sustenance, everything is the best thing you've ever had.
Everything is delicious. But no, it's definitely one of those things that I will buy from time to time, because it is one of those things like, yet just the way it is, you don't get a lot of them, but it has a good ratio of sweet to wheat.
Yeah, and I think they also provide like a nice a bite. Like a lot of cereals, you could essentially eat them without ever chewing on them. But yeah, mini wheats provide a good, I don't want to say mouthfeel. I don't like that, but I think that's what chefs say.
I don't know what chefs say. As someone who does do a lot of cooking streams, I don't pay attention to chefs. The only food person I pay attention to is Kathy.
Fair enough. All right, so I'll go ahead and jump in to my second place favorite cereal. So you've already put in your guess, right? It was the Raisin Bran.
Yeah, it was Raisin Bran. I figured it was at least going to be mentioned in the good list.
Okay, so my second favorite cereal, I want to say, I did have trouble between the runner-ups and this one, but I think I'm going to put up Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
Because
they got good commercials.
They do have very good commercials. A lot of cannibalism in their commercials.
What commercial that doesn't have cannibalism is not good?
Sorry, can I go on a random tangent about celebrity gossip? You can tell me no.
Do it. Like, if I say no to a random tangent, that is like 3/4 of our podcast.
I didn't know if you cared if it was celebrity gossip.
Nah, I don't care.
Do you know who the actor Armie Hammer is?
I heard the name. Give me a second while I look him up. I know he's in something that I watched a while ago.
Yeah, he's in an amount of stuff, and I do have the trouble where I'm like,
that's not how I spell.
I think if I see him, I'm like, oh, it's that guy. But other than that, it's not, like a name to face recognition thing that I have with other actors. But I see him in a lot of stuff. So
he has one of those forgettable faces. Excuse me while I find out what he was in.
So you looked at him, you're like, I think I recognize him.
Oh, he's in The Lone Ranger.
Okay. So,
I didn't watch it.
But that's your connection. So the reason I say that this is a tangent, anyone who's up with celebrity gossip, by the time this episode's out, it might be outdated, and confirmed either true or false. But in the current state of recording, there is there's accusations that he might be interested in cannibalism.
You know what? If anyone would be, it should be a guy with generic face like this one.
Well, apparently a bunch of things have supposedly been leaked. Like, notice the language. Like, with the internet, gossip happens. You never know what's really true 100%.
Like,
But there's apparently
how
messages
do
that
you
have
get
been...
into cannibalism?
There's messages that have supposedly been leaked where he was talking with, people that he was interested in spending physical time with. And somewhere in those messages, he either said he was a cannibal or asked to do cannibalistic things with them.
Still, it begs the question: how does someone get into cannibalism? It's not like the drugs where it's like
You were introduced
here you
once.
go. Like whether there's multiple places where you can build addictions to that, but like cannibalism, like that requires work. It's not like, man, I was going in there, I wanted the beef, but I actually picked up Bert.
A Burt burger, a Burtger.
Yes.
So it's just the internet amazes me with
There's a part of me that really hopes this is true because this would be very interesting to find out why and how. The other part of me is what I'm pretty sure is the mass majority of the reaction was like, why? This is gross. No, stop. But there is that part of me that's like, why and how?
I think I saw a rumor.
I want to know.
I think I saw a rumor being spread because I believe that he had gotten a divorce, somewhat recently. Hence, like,
Did he eat her?
Well, there's a rumor that I saw. I don't, you can't always trust the sources you see, but apparently his ex-wife in therapy admitted that he asked to be able to barbecue her rib, and I was like, this can't be real.
Is there a movie coming out soon where he's a cannibal? Hold on, I'm looking at something.
No, he was on cast to be in a movie with J-Lo, but asked amid all the rumors and all the stuff happening that he's not film the movie and stay home with his children to make sure that nothing weird happens because he would have to be on location. I'm like, that's a nice, admirable thing to do, and I guess it's what you have to do to get out of the spotlight. But like, I don't believe he's in a cannibalistic movie coming out anytime soon, DPayne.
I'm just looking. I'm just making sure because man, this would be great viral marketing. Crisis. What is this? That's more reading than I want to do on a podcast. It's about drugs in Canada. I don't know. Still.
Yeah, so there's my celebrity gossip. I think TikTok might be where I heard of it. TikTok is where I hear about everything nowadays. What are news sources? Just give me 10-second sound bits of people being shocked at the latest gossip for me to then go on a research hole.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Like it's one of those like as I said, like there's a slight part of me that is a very, 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 very small because I really don't care what people think about me. Is one
the curiosity kind of part of you?
It is like I am my biggest question, which is probably not the main TikTok reaction or probably the mass majority of the people in there. I feel like there's a big, big, big group that is like this is disgusting and abhorrent and how did you get into this? And then there's the other cannibals is like, we got a bro. But then there's me and probably a small sliver, maybe a little bit, maybe not such a small sliver. It's just this is me first hearing about it and this is my first reaction is how?
Well, yeah, when did you what?
I want to see that movie.
This is my biopic of how I got introduced into cannibalism.
Yeah.
Well, you see, at a ripe young age.
Like dad brought home meat. It was good. What was it? Actually, from what I've heard from historical accounts, human meat is actually really salty.
I also hear it's general. Like I know from what I understand, it's just a lot of what is it? We tend to prefer meats with high fat ratios. Like you know, when you get cuts of steak, you look for, what is it, marbling is the technical term, but it's just how much fat is mixed in there. So I can see where we're probably pretty unpleasant.
There's some that have enjoyed the fat. And for people who are wondering, like, DPayne, how you know this, Cortez, when he came over, when he met the Aztecs, if I remember correctly, due to the things, they invited him to a human sacrifice where it was part of the culture to partake in the sacrifice, as in eat the human. And I think, if I remember correctly, it was in like one of his diaries where he's like, you just took a little bit and you put it on pretty much what we would call like a tortilla with some other stuff, and it was just like he partook. Now, once again, this was years ago, and DPayne is old. Not super old, but old. So
not
that
old
could have
enough
been
to been
disproved.
there when he was around.
Like, honestly, that is like the only reason why I want to have like Wolverine's like healing factor. Not the only reason. There's lots of reasons why I want it, but I just think that would be fun to been like, yeah, I was there, but no one believed me.
That would be a way to live out history. But yeah, so what's your runner-up cereal now that?
Well, did you finish talking about your cannibalism cereal?
I mean, Cinnamon Toast Crunch for me. I think I just like cinnamon.
I need you to vamp for a bit so I can turn on the light.
I think I just like cinnamon, general things. Like, I love cinnamon buns. Growing up at the mall, we had Auntie Anne's in all the malls that I would go to. I always got the cinnamon sugar ones. I also, just yesterday, went to an ice cream place with someone, and they had s'mores ice cream. And, you know, you're just like, oh, s'mores ice cream seems great. And then I dig into it, and they basically crushed up cinnamon covered graham crackers and then also put cinnamon swirls in it, and I was like, this is so much better than I could have ever imagined. So I think I'm just partial to cinnamon. I also love French toast.
French toast is good. I want to know what Auntie Anne's does to their pretzels, because they taste different.
There are all different ways of making pretzels. I tried to look into pretzels before, and when they said that you need lye, I was like, isn't that the bad stuff in movies?
Like, do you lie to them? It's just like, I love you.
It would be so much easier than what I was thinking, having to obtain. No, I know, I think it's German pretzels. You boil it in lye, and that gives it that, I don't want to say briny taste, but not quite yeasty, but it's got a particular taste. Auntie Anne's are just so sweet. Like, even their base ones.
I googled boiling lye to see what it looked like, and I got a video game off of Steam called Boiling Steel.
Yeah, it's not that what it looks like. I think I could be mixing up things, but I'm thinking of...
I also got Death by Boiling.
Whoa. I'm thinking of, what's the movie, the book by Chuck Palahniuk? Oh, I don't know how to say his last name.
I don't know.
Fight Club. And I thought that they would melt...
You can't talk about it.
Yeah, you can't talk about it. I thought they would melt bodies in lye or something like that.
Oh, yeah. No, that's...
Like for candles? Or you know, where they tell you stories about how they get rid of people.
Yeah. No, that I know there is a chemical. I know what it is, but I can't remember what it is. I've already sounded like a stinking psycho with what I said earlier.
Tell me about your cannibalism. Tell me your story.
What do you think the meat was in the recipe? Burnt!
Now I want to watch Sweeney Todd.
I never watched it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd's got meat pies in it.
You could also watch, shoot. I only remember the code name for the main character, Centipede. The one with the ghouls and they eat the people.
Oh, Tokyo Ghoul, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But are they technically cannibals if they're technically genetically... Oh, are they genetically different? I guess. They've got superpowers.
I don't know. I only read it, and so I don't know how similar it is.
Could also watch Parasite.
True. I read that too. I want to know where it ends. There's like a character that is... Is there a chubby friend in it?
Probably. I don't know if he was in the anime.
That's what I was wondering about the anime.
I think the anime was mainly about Migi and the main character.
Yeah, but like so is the manga. It's just that he finds a heavier friend. Like he makes a friend, and he's heavier, but like the parasite is in uh the mouth of this character.
Oh, I do remember him a bit in the anime. It's been a while since I've watched it because I
Yeah.
watched it as soon as it came out, and then I binged it, and then it's just in my memory of I like
Hmm.
it, but I could not tell you details of it.
Yeah. It's a fun. I like it like that. I remember that character because like I just remember one of the things because it was a very like at the time a unique take on like this guy doesn't have a lot of like physical abilities, but he is now in a situation where he needs to survive. How can this happen?
Mm-hmm.
I also like how they explain, at least in the manga. Once again, I do want to watch it because I do remember reading this when I was younger. Um, like why he is better, but at the same time worse than everybody else that has parasites.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if I remember correctly, that's spoiler. Um,
All right.
there's also another manga I remember reading when I was younger called Eat Man, which his whole ability was he could eat anything, and all he would do is have people he'd have this person dismantle weapons, and he would eat it bit by bit by bit, and then could just summon the weapon out of his hand, but he had to eat every single piece of it.
Sounds like the one kid in My Hero, except the kid in My Hero
But
obtains
it's
the animal
animals.
abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, there's a part where he eats like one of those satellites that shoots lasers down at Earth and blows up nations,
But he
and
has to
like
eat the whole thing.
he yeah, but like it doesn't not in one, but like it can be dismantled.
Okay.
So like he has someone dismantle it for him, and like I think it's just like literally a one-time use because he just like it just bloofs out of his body, and then it's just like okay, it's done. And so like there's like this whole story arc where it's just like someone takes a bolt away from him and he's like I need that bolt, give it back, and they're just like why? And then it's like the person that took it from him is like gets captured by the big bad, and he's like can and Eat Man catches like can I have my bolt, and he's like fine here whatever, just we're gonna die, and then it's just like giant laser piercing through the air, and
Goodness.
it's like thank you, I'm leaving now.
I got what I needed.
Like he was like a mercenary. But
Gotcha.
anywho, this episode's gonna be forever.
So, what is your second favorite cereal?
My second favorite cereal is the classic, and has already been mentioned in comparison to other ones, the Rice Krispies.
They are fun.
They make little pops and snaps and crackles. However, I think this is one of the cereals to an extent that it, yes, does it get soggy when it gets to milk? Yes, but I think it's one of those cereals that tastes better once it's absorbed a little bit of milk.
Yeah, I think they're fine once they're soggy, as long as you don't let them get to the point where they're basically just soaked. Like
Yes.
once they get too wet, then they feel I don't want to say like paper, but it's definitely not a fun texture.
If you are taking over 30 minutes to eat your cereal, yes, you have waited too long.
I do enjoy Rice Krispies, but I think my favorite form of them is in a bar.
Yes, that's the other reason why this is my runner up is because Rice Krispies is one of those it's one of those things that is just able to be put in treats, like a Rice Krispie treat. It's a very flexible cereal.
Not
Uh,
literally.
well, yes, not on
It's
a
not very
load,
bendy. It'll snap.
but yes, very true. But like together, like when what is able to be added to it is good. Like it's one of those cereals where it's just like, I want to add a little bit of fruit to this. I think this is the only food that I was like, I will cut up bananas and put it in there. I do not like the texture of bananas, but when it gets surrounded by milk and Rice Krispies, I'm like, there we go. It has masked the texture of because I like the taste. I
Okay.
just do not like the texture of bananas. And so it's yeah, so it's like one of those things where I'm like, I won't mind that. I also don't like buying bananas because it's like, oh, you are bad now, and I bought you like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. You guys are fine. I'll check on you tomorrow. Oh my goodness, I have to throw
Oh,
you out.
yeah. So Um, but yeah, it's definitely one of those. Like, there's that. You can like throw your strawberries in there. You could throw other fruits, and like I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm like, yeah, this is a good solid thing that goes well with everything. And the only reason why it's not my number one is because I think my number one I can eat by itself, like as you eat cereal, like with milk and cereal.
Okay.
Um,
I understand that because my number one is set up in that way where I think I could infinitely eat this with or without milk. So
mhm.
we shall see if we ended up on the same spot.
I don't think so because normally when I mention this cereal, people are like, "What? That's a thing?"
Now I'm curious. All right. Do you have anything else to boost
No,
up
but
your
I do
Rice
think at
Krispies?
the end of the podcast we should answer the question: do we add milk? How do we prepare cereal?
That is a fair question to
Cereal
ask on a
first, then
cereal.
milk, or milk first, then cereal?
I will keep that
I
in
don't know if
mind.
I just said the same thing twice because I confused myself after I said the first thing.
We'll find out. All right. So my number one favorite cereal on my list is Honey Nut Cheerios.
That is a good one. That is a solid.
Yeah, it
It's
is. It is sweet enough without being too sweet. You could eat it dry as a snack indefinitely. You could eat it with milk, and the milk just gets a little bit sweeter without it being overrun. I think the honey
mhm.
coating helps protect the Cheerios from getting too soggy right away. It's supposedly heart healthy, if you want us to believe that Cheerios.
I think it is possibly the best version of Cheerio.
I don't know that I've had plain Cheerios, but I don't think I've
So have
had all
I.
the other varieties.
I think the only other one I had was like the apple cinnamon
Mm-hmm.
kind, but it was a while ago. Like, how are you gonna say no to that Happy Bee?
Yeah, he's just looking out for us.
Mm-hmm. It's got that scepter that has infinite honey.
Now I want Honey Nut Cheerios. But anyway, yeah, so like, I don't know. I feel like there's not much more for me that I feel like I have to add. It's just one of those, it's not neutral, but it is safe. Like, I'll
Mm-hmm.
never not be in the mood for Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah. Again, I agree with your statement where it's just like, yes, it can. I think 90% of the time I get cereal, I will eat dry. And Honey Nut Cheerios is definitely one of those cereals that you can eat dry. Like, you don't need, like, yeah, milk helps, but at the same time, like, you can just, like, stick like, your hand in there like a little raccoon and just shovel it all out.
I think that's the only way to eat dry cereal. If anyone bothers to pour cereal into a bowl to then eat it dry, why?
Sometimes it depends. Like, if I have to share this cereal with other people, yes.
Oh, well, that's different.
But me living alone, no, it's mine.
No one else needs to worry about my germs but me.
No one comes over the house anyway, so it's just like good.
All
But
right.
yeah, that is a good one.
So what is?
And don't they have frosted Cheerios?
I think they were frosted. I think I've seen yogurt covered. I think I've
That
seen.
sounds interesting.
Yeah, I've. I don't venture much into the Cheerio world. I also think Cheerios are the one cereal brand that tries to do everything to stay relevant, like pumpkin spice Cheerios. Did we need
Yeah,
it?
but it's just like Honey Nut Cheerios isn't like a small Cheerio, and like everyone I feel like buys regular Cheerios for their little spawns, children. That's what they're called.
Yeah, because I know base Cheerios they melt easily
hmm
because they don't have like a coating and they don't have all the extra sugar and stuff.
Side note: I just had the Pog Champ of the Day that shows up, and I was like, we got rid of it. But wouldn't it be good just to still get rid of the whole term if they're so concerned about it because it's still pointing to the person who made the original emote?
I don't know
Hmm.
that the didn't know who the creator
Me neither.
associated with the face was before everything happened, but I don't mind the idea of it rotating around because I
Oh
read.
no, I do not have a problem with the rotating emote. It's in my head. I was like, if you're trying to like have people forget about this person, like I don't know, still using it's his name. I don't know. It's one of those things like
Is it in his name?
yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things like I didn't look into it, but it's still like
Because I thought it was just like how terms arise. Like someone
It could
decide.
be.
Yeah, I
That's
thought.
like I haven't done research into it. It's just like one of those things where I'm like, they wanted to get rid of the emote, and it like pretty much everything involved with it. So like,
I don't think it's a
I don't know.
bad way to redirect it because I think it's a term that people don't associate with that particular creator anymore, and
Yeah,
now they can look at it as something that highlights different members of the community. So then people think about something else and
yeah, like it's
reassociate the term with something that's not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I totally agree with you, and it's like I understand that's what it's going on. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I'm pretty sure the only line of logic I'm holding right now will only really hold for maybe another month or two if people still remember who this guy was,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, I remember when we were first moving to Twitch and people would say words and we were like, "Can you tell me what it means?" They're like, "No, but I can tell you the context."
Yeah,
I'm
I,
like,
I still
"Okay."
don't know what it means. There's still tons of like, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like when I hear people in real life say poggers, I was
Ooh.
like, I went to hit you with a bat. I don't know. It's just like it's one of those things. It's like, am I just old now? Where I'm like, how dare you use those words in my physical vicinity? Keep that on the internet where I can ignore it. I don't know. But then again, it's what I find. One of the things I do find funny is a friend of mine where, like, their chat, like she would say it as a joke now, and they said it. Her and her fiance have said it so much that it's now part of their regular vocabulary, and they're just like, I don't know how we got here.
It is
Anywho,
interesting how you end up doing that to yourself.
hmm
A lot of people will just start to say things as like ironically or as a joke, and then you realize you've just incorporated it, and you're like, I didn't mean for this to happen.
everybody hurts.
All right, what is your number one cereal?
Okay, I'm just gonna say the cereal and then describe what it is because I'm pretty sure people have seen it in the cereal aisle. But normally people, like everyone I talk to, I it's very rare that I find people that also have
Eating it.
pick
Okay.
up the cereal. Yeah, it's called Crispix.
I like Crispix. So crunchy
Yeah.
and
Okay.
latticey.
Yes. Crispix is great. I think it's like it's like two different kinds of like grain. One is like wheat and the other one is corn or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a one of those it's like a basket weave kind of where it's got little holes. I don't know. No, yeah, the word you used is also the lattice.
I knew, like, I could have said, I know what that is, and you'd be like, sure you do. And then I said lattice. You're like, oh, she do know.
Yep. Mhm. Yeah. Now, I do not think so little of you that if you say you know something, I'll immediately disbelieve
Well, you
it.
started off with nobody knows what this is.
Yeah. Well, most of the time, I did say most of the time people have no clue what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
But then again, I wonder if this is just like our area kind of thing.
Are
I
you
don't know.
calling us old?
No, like physical area.
Oh, region. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. If you guys heard of Crispix, let us know at pointlessdisco.com
Oh,
Twitter.
no.
What is that?
Yeah, is that an owned domain by anyone?
No, it isn't.
Are you saying that we should buy a domain?
It probably wouldn't hurt because I don't want to wait till later and have trolls buy it.
I was gonna say, I think you say pointless disco or pointlessdiscourse.com more often than you say Twitter.
I do because it's like I'm trying to remember what the name is. Anywho,
Okay,
and
describe.
then we can make a Wix site.
I was gonna say, feel free to describe why this one is your top tier.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where yeah, it's got like thin it's like a thin texture, like it's a thin bubble of wheat cereal. And it's hollow on the inside, as we said, it was lattice, which it's got like, it's like, if anyone is familiar with the gold miners, like how they have that thing and they like shuffle through the water to have like the gold and not like separate from the dirt and the rocks and all that stuff. It's kind of it's like that kind of thing where milk can flow through it. However, it also has the special ability that I don't know why, but it also holds milk in the center really well. And one of my favorite things to do is like I will have it with milk and cereal, eat it, and I was like, this is good. It like softens to like a nice texture and tastes good. But then, which I think is a normal issue with most drinkers of milk cereal, people that eat cereal with milk, is that you will have a good collection of milk afterwards. And you're like, well, what should I do? Like, if I add more cereal, then the ratio is off. But I noticed it's just like, if you just add a little bit more Crispix, it absorbs that milk really well, and it softens it up to where you have a mixture of crunch and soft. It's just really good. I am watering at the mouth right now thinking about cereal. But like, I don't know, it's just one of those things. Like, I'm pretty sure there's like a slight sweetener in there, or it just may be the sweetness of the milk, but it's not sugary. It's just a real solid cereal that I don't have to worry about rotting my teeth.
Mm-hmm. I like that both of our top cereals are not very sweet. My second cereal was.
To be fair, if anyone has paid attention to our streams, to other episodes where we talk about food, we are not huge sweet tooths. I think the thing that the most sweet tooth episode we talked about is the chocolate episode.
Yeah.
And maybe the episode that can't be named until it comes out.
Yeah, I put a lot of sweets on that one, didn't I?
Technically, so did I.
Yeah, in hindsight.
Yeah, we only have sweets on vacation.
We go all out. Oh, I'm not home? Buy it all. Spoiler. Or, I guess, no, we'll say preview for potential future episode if it's ever needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we can rehash our list, and then after we rehash our list, we'll talk about how we eat our cereal.
Yes.
So I'll go ahead and go first. So my least favorite cereals, my second least favorite is Fruity Pebbles. My number one least favorite was Honey Smacks. And then, I guess, going up the list towards favorites, I had some couple runner-ups where I put Frosted Flakes and Raisin Bran. And then my second favorite, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And my number one, Honey Nut Cheerios.
And my list, going from bad to good, my runner-up to bad was Special K and Life. Sorry, just Life in its own.
Life is just bad.
Hey, DPayne hates Life. Have fun clipping that out if anyone feels like that. And then my number one bad is the Honey Smacks, Golden Crisps, and Golden Pops. That's not it. Corn Pops. And then my runner-up is Frosted Mini Wheats for my good list, and then second place is Rice Krispies, and first is Crispix. I want Crispix.
Can you DoorDash Crispix?
Oh, but I think I might make a stop to the labyrinth called Acme and find it myself.
All right, and then so you asked the very important question that everyone needs to know, how we consume our cereal. I believe I put cereal first and pour milk on top.
Same here. I was like,
because then you get a chance to be able to get all the cereal like equally damp. I don't want wet cereal, just
moist.
That's what happens when you take a half hour to eat your cereal.
There's a different reason why I like putting the milk in second, is because I just like watching the cereal rise. I'm just like, look at it go.
It's swimming now.
Yeah.
I think I've heard the argument to say that one is not the way to do it because it looks like you're drowning the cereal. But I was like, they have to get wet either way.
Yeah. Like once they stop telling me to stop milk boarding them, then I'll think about it. But until then,
Because the other
no.
way, when you put milk in first, you have to go through the effort after the fact with your spoon and make sure they all kind of like get dunked. Is that any better?
I still do that with.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Now I realized why. Okay, so you like. Okay, so you pour your milk in like a circle.
yes, like in the
Okay.
commercials.
Oh, I
Oh,
just dump it in one spot.
just all in the middle.
Yeah. Well, it spreads out. It's a liquid.
I just mean like it's like a fountain. You target the center of the bowl.
Mm, yeah. I just pour it in there because then it's in there, and as it spreads, it rises.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, haha. And then I mix it in.
Fair enough.
Hmm. But yeah,
I ate before this, and I snacked a little bit right before this, and I'm still hungry again. All right.
I didn't do either of them, and I am hungry.
All right. But yeah, I guess, yeah, that wraps up another episode. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
guys so much for listening. And again, like we said in the. Oh, I think we forgot to
Ow.
mention
I
during
just
the.
kicked my chair.
I think we forgot to mention this during the announcements. But if you guys, interact with us, leave us reviews or anything, we will, of course, shout you out on the next recorded episode once we see them.
Mm-hmm. We normally check them 30 seconds before we start actually recording the episode. Sometimes it's right as we're starting where Huff's like, I'm ready to go. And I'm like, me too. And then she's like, hello. I'm like, I forgot.
Yeah, so we would definitely appreciate it, even if you just reply to a couple things on Twitter or leave us a review. And then for every 10 reviews, we will plan up a live show so we can stream it for you guys again.
Yes.
Any other announcements you think?
Let us know on that Twitter thing. What's your favorite cereal if you got this far? If you got through our celebrity Twitch and cannibalism tangents.
In comics? Or no, anime.
Okay, anime, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there was a lot of tangents in there. But I will also blame this with the fact that I was forced to not be able to stream for 3 days, and now brain is in word vomit mode.
You didn't get a chance to share this with the community, so you get to share it with the podcast community.
Oh yeah, last night when we were setting up to do a co-stream, one of the people in there was like, "Hey, the music might not be as like in the going on as much during the stream, so I don't know how much you guys want empty space in the thing, but you might just heads up." And I'm like, "Guy, I haven't streamed for 3 days.
There is no silence.
There will be no silence." I didn't type it because I'm like, I don't know, there might be quiet moments where I need to figure out what we're doing. We were playing Raft. It's a really fun game. It's one of those games where I want to get more people in because it would just be fun. But at the same time, I'm like, it was a good time. I enjoyed it.
Okay. That's a survival game, right?
Yeah. But it's like it's not a heavy survival game. Like it's not like a 7 Days to Die or Rust style.
Okay.
It's very much like, yeah, you learn the basics. Like you have a hook, throw it in the ocean, scoop out some litter, build stuff with it. And then it's like once you build more stuff, it's like, okay, build the research table and then research new things to build to make boat better. And then there is a storyline and all of that, which I don't know. It's fun. But then you got a big old jerk shark that keeps chomping on your boat.
What a jerk.
Yeah. And then chomps on you if you accidentally walk off into the ocean. Like I did multiple times.
What's over here? The ocean? Oh, let me check on it.
Yeah. So, but that's a totally different thing.
Yes. Yeah, as always, we appreciate you guys. Always appreciate you listening. I think that wraps it up for my end.
Yeah. Eat cereal. Bye.